Welcome back. Welcome back to another AFL preview, prediction, tips, tricks, all of that. Round 10. We're slowly approaching halfway of the season. Great opening 10 rounds, but I think the first round's been very, very good. We learned a lot of stuff we've been disappointed about, a lot of stuff we've been happy about. Um, I was just catching up on some highlights from like the game and all, and just reading a few things. Um, I do want to talk about North Melbourne. Obviously, I have the results from last week, as you guys know. We look back from last week, this upcoming week, and just look at the ladder in general. North Melbourne lost by 52. Now, Jets fans watching them against Gold Coast, and I was reading the comments. I think a lot of people are like frustrated. It's not like really the fans of the team. I think just like AFL supporters are just frustrated with them because they feel like I read one comment that said like I think North is at the point like they come into every game expecting to get beat by like 30 or 40 or 50. And I know last year they weren't good as well, but they haven't won a game yet. Like North Melbourne has not won a game yet this season. And as a avid fan of the AFL, you guys know me. I ain't really happy about that because I've never seen a team lose this much in the AFL, like to start the season off, like not having won a game. Cause I think I remember beat Frio last year. I remember that game was like very controversial and all. But this season, man, it's tough. It's very, very tough. That's why I don't really watch a lot of the highlights. No offense, like they got like Nick Lockie, then like Stevenson, like they have some players on the team. But still though, still they keep getting their ass beat, which is just crazy to me. But let's see who they are playing this week. You guys know I never look at next week's. I never look at the upcoming week's fixtures. I see it all here with you guys. So as we look back at the past week, Carlton, and I think this was like an Indigenous week stuff like that. So I think some of the teams have changed names. Now this can go two ways. I can just say it just regularly, like just call them Melbourne, or actually like try to like say like the name like the secondary name of the team. But I don't want to say it because like I know I want to like butcher every word. So it's like, chat. So I want to like just say it regularly, or I want to show like a bit of like I guess like respect or like gratitude towards like the secondary or the indigenous name of these teams. So I'm gonna just say it. And then listen, it's gonna be back. I know I'm going to butcher these names, but obviously Carlton beat Melbourne. Well, Norm, 77-76. I watched hours of that. Melbourne almost came back. Gee, Norm almost came back against Carlton. Very, very good game. Petrarca, my gosh, I think it was one of his best games of the season. I think he had like 4 or 5 goals that game. But Carlton managed to hold it on. Very, very good team. Geelong losing to Yartapoti by 6. Didn't much highlights of that, but shout out to PA. I think I had them. No, I think I had PA losing to Geelong, but hey, I was fool. I was foolish. Sydney beat obviously Walla Lope, aka Frio, pretty easily. Sydney just continues to watch one of the best teams in the league. Hawthorn beat Euro York, aka St Kilda. Very, very surprised about that. Very happy to see Hawthorn actually. And I said this about Hawthorn during the offseason, man. I said I expect them to show the most improvement out of like all the bomb teams from last year. And they have actually shown that. So it's not a great team, but they're still showing a bit of like improvement. So very, very happy to see about that. Essendon and GWS. I watched the highlights of that. GWS are looking a bit like last few weeks. Haven't really been as dominant as they were. Shout out to the Bombers. I think they are trying to show that like I think the Bombers are trying to show they are for real. I see it. Like, hey, let me just see a tad bit more of it. Western Bulldogs beat Richmond. I didn't really watch highlights of that, but hey, Western Bulldogs continue to show my inconsistent take. They are just completely inconsistent, like I said, but they took care of business and beat Richmond. Gold Coast being, like I said, North Melbourne by 68. Collingwood beat West Coast. I'm not even going to pronounce that. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I know I'm going to butcher that. And obviously, we tied 90-90 against Kuwana, aka Adelaide. Uh, I mean, it's not really much to say. Watch the highlights. Thought we played well. You can't blow a lead, man. Like we gotta close that game out. I think we should have really closed that game out. Not really a excuse for that, but we should close that game out. It's just that simple. Now, boys and girls, as we look into the ladder and see what's going on, obviously Sydney Swans are 8-1, going up against Carlton coming up. Carlton has another tough game. Geelong has Gold Coast. Bombers have North Melbourne. Melbourne have West Coast Eagles. GWS, like I said, they've lost the last 3 out of 4 after the good start that they had, which has dropped them down to 5th. Obviously, Port Adelaide coming off a disappointing loss, playing Hawthorns like week. Carlton and Collingwood. So a lot of like good games coming up. Obviously, North Melbourne are 0-9, Richmond are 1-8, Hawthorn are 3-6, West Coast is 2-7. I am, like I said, I'm just concerned about North Melbourne, man. I just don't see a win coming anytime soon, man. And I hate it because I don't want to see teams go through this, but they are just looking bad, man. Defense are absolutely just shit. They can't defend a freaking bag of coal. I mean, my God, man. My God. Obviously, Western Bulldogs are just in 11th place for some reason. Brisbane, 3-5-1 and 13th. We may not even make the finals. I don't think we are. Still early, though, but it ain't sweet. It ain't sweet. It's not sweet. Now, as we head into the round 10 preview and prediction, let's go ahead and let's just hop straight into it, man. Obviously, Thursday, aka tomorrow, we have Gold Coast against Geelong. Should be a very, very good game. Also, Geelong are trying to respond from last week. Disappointing loss. Gold Coast are trying to continue this momentum that they have. Impressed with Gold Coast. 5-4. If they win this, they're into the top 8 most likely. Depending on what Carlton and Collingwood does. Do I have them beating Geelong? I don't think so. I think Geelong does need to respond. But I thought I said that last week about them. But having 2 straight disappointing games against Melbourne and against Port Adelaide. But it's 2 decent, good teams, though. So Geelong can't really be disappointed. It's 2 teams in the top 8. They have to beat them, though. That's where the 2 losses have come from, but they took care of business and everything else. I have Geelong being Gold Coast, though. I think Geelong will respond back this week. I thought I said that last week. Boy, was I wrong. I expect Geelong to win this upcoming week. Sydney against Carlton. I'm riding the Sydney wave, baby. I'm riding the Sydney wave. I expect them to beat Carlton. Carlton, offensively, are freaking amazing. But Sydney, who has the best team, you can probably say this season, 913 goals scored, which is best in the league. And they also have conceded the less amount of goals at 601. So, offensive to defensively, they're one of the best teams. And I think they are going to continue that, showing why the Sydney Swans are for real. Collingwood against Adelaide. I think Collingwood, like I said, are, and I've been saying this for the last few weeks, they're starting to get going. They're really starting to show why they are freaking defending champs, defending finalists. And I think they get that done this week. It's going to be a tough game, though. Adelaide are not a bad team. They're scrappy, tough, hard-nosed team. I got Collingwood beating them. GWS against the Western Bulldogs. Now you guys know me. If I choose Western Bulldogs, I'm probably going to lose, and then vice versa. The Western Bulldogs, man, like I said, they smacked freaking Richmond. I'm not really concerned about that. I mean, it's Richmond, no offense. But, it's going to be a very, very tough game, though, because obviously, Western Bulldogs, one of the most inconsistent teams I know in the AFL, going against GWS, who have been struggling recently. Yes, I know Jesse Logan came back and all Toby Green, but offensively, they're still a very good offensive team. But I think defensively, they can be a tad bit better, but I think they just need to have a better game overall and go back to what they did early on during the season. Early on in the season, I have GWS losing again to Western Bulldogs. I think the Western Bulldogs, if the Western Bulldogs want to show they are like top 8, like team, like players, do it, show it against GWS, man. Show why. St. Kilda against Wallalop. I think it's Frio, if I am correct. Yeah. It's gonna be a tough game. It's gonna be a very, 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 very tough game. Should be a good game though. St. Kilda, weird team. I have St. Kilda losing. Just disappointing compared to last season. Very, very disappointing last season. Brisbane against Richmond. We take care of business, man. We're going to be fine. I expect them to beat Richmond. I'm not going to say too much. I know some of the injuries. We have some young guys come up. Very, 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 very impressed with them. We're at the Gabba. Have not been great at home this season. But no offense to Richmond. We have to beat Richmond. We should beat Richmond. I got them beating Richmond. Bombers against North Melbourne. I got the Bombers beating North Melbourne. I'm going to just keep it short, quick, and simple with that. North Melbourne just disappointed. Just very, very disappointed in them. And then lastly, two more games. Port Adelaide against Hawthorn. Can Hawthorn continue this little growth they are doing against a tough Port Adelaide team? I'm going to go with the upset. I'm going to go with Hawthorn being Port Adelaide. I don't think it's going to happen, but I'm going with the upset. And then lastly, we have West Coast against Norm, a.k.a. Melbourne. Ooh. Melbourne, man. They're a good team, 6-3. Obviously, like I said, tough loss last week, but playing a lot better than what they are. Still, Max Gawn's still there. Petrarca, Pickett, French. I just still love good players on the team. But they want to show, man, we can compete with the Sydneys and the John, stuff like that. Gotta do it. Gotta get it done. But I have them beating the West Coast Eagles. But guys, that was basically it. Quick, easy, good preview for you guys. You guys let me know below where did I go wrong, where did I go right. I'll see you guys then. Peace.